to another Striker video lesson. Today I'll show you how to play Fight for Your Life off the album Armed to the Teeth. As always, we're tuned to D standard. To begin today's lesson, I'll show you how to play the intro riff, which is also used throughout the song as a bridge. It goes like this. Breaking the riff down, really the only complicated part is the end, so I'll go over that slowly. So the two most complicated parts would be the little run, which goes like this. I'll play it for you slowly. And that starts out on your second fret, on your second string, once more. And then we have some different chord shapes other than a power chord. It goes like this. And for this chord, basically all you need to do is make your regular power chord shape, and then add in one extra string up top, which is 2 frets further down the fretboard. And that's our only crazy chord for this song. Moving on to the verse riff. It's fairly self-explanatory, so I won't go through it in much detail, but I will play it for you now. It's pretty simple, and it just repeats throughout the song. After the verse comes the chorus. All the power chords in this section are played on your second string, starting out on your 7th fret. Down to your 3rd, up to the 5th, open. Each time, as you hit the open power chord, you'll have a little fill at the end. The first fill is open, E string, or D string in this case, so just open, 6th string. Then you want to move down to your 2nd fret on your 5th string, 2nd fret on your 4th string, 2nd fret on your 3rd string. And I like to make the shape with these 3 fingers going down the strings, so it sounds like this. And then the second ending is just open on your 2nd string, and you hit your 3rd fret down on your 1st string and give it a nice squeal. Moving on to the next bridge section, which is very similar to the intro. It just has a slightly different ending, which I'll show you now. Pretty much it's the same thing as we played before earlier on in the song, except we have some power chords for the last 2 bars. The power chords are all on your 2nd string again, starting on your 3rd fret, up to 5, up to 7, up to 9, 10, then up to 12, then we move on into the verse. The final rhythm section you need to know to play the song is the solo section, which I'll show to you now. It starts out on your 2nd fret on your 2nd string. You want to do a power chord, and then you move down to a power chord on your 3rd fret on your 1st string, and it moves back and forth 3 times. So it sounds something like this. So that last part is you want to go down to open on your 2nd string, and then you hold that for 2 bars, and then you slowly chromatically move up the neck until you hit your 5th fret. And then we go back into essentially the intro riff, or the bridges. Very simple. And that's pretty much all the rhythm stuff that you need to know in how to play Fight for Your Life. Moving on to the lead guitar, this time we'll start now with the intro. Goes a little something like this. The second half of the intro is a little bit more complicated, so I'll go over that in detail. You want to start out with a bend up on your 15th fret on your 5th string, followed by a little descending lick, so I'll play it for you once again. The first bridge section is very similar to the intro, except it has a slightly different ending. I'll play it for you now. Moving on to the solo section, the solo is preceded immediately by another bridge section, which is almost exactly the same as the intro, except it has a slightly different ending, which I'll show to you now. Played slowly, you want to start up on your 14th fret with a bend, and then go down and hit your 15th fret on your 5th string. Immediately after that, you want to hit your natural harmonics over your 5th fret on your 3 highest strings, and then you want to go up to your 7th fret on your 2nd highest string, sounding like this. And then we slide up to the 19th fret, and finish off with a little bendy lick. The main solo section starts out with the slide up to your 7th fret on your 3rd highest string, a little something like this. It begins with 8th notes and then moves on to triplets, which might be a little bit confusing. The next lick features a descending, sliding pattern all up on your 2nd highest string, and usually I perform it all with one finger. To begin, you start out on your 15th fret and slide down to your 10th fret. Then you move up to the 12th fret and slide down to the 7th. Then you go from your 10th fret to your 5th, then your 7th to your 3rd. Altogether something like this. That's followed by an ascending lick, which is a little bit tricky. It goes like this. The next part of the solo is very melodic. It goes something like this. This part of the solo is a little bit more complex than the rest, as it involves string skipping and tapping. Something like that. Slowed down, you want to start out with a tap on your 14th fret, pulling off to your 7th fret, and then you hammer on to your 9th. So this tap sounds like this. Then you move up to your next string with a very similar pattern, except now you drop your root finger down to your 6th fret, sounding like this. And then the final tap up high is moving your tapping finger to your 12th fret on the high E string, so this is where you skip a string, and then you pull off to your 5th fret and then hammer on to the 9th fret. So again, it sounds something like this. Something like that. After that last tapping lick, there's another tapping lick. This time it's in an ascending chromatic pattern. It goes something like this. Sounds complicated, doesn't it? It's actually fairly simple. It goes a little something like this. You start out by tapping onto your 17th fret up on your high string. Then you pull off to the 12th fret, then pull off again to your 9th. Now we move down a string, and we hammer on to the 10th fret, pull off to the 9th, and then hammer on again to the 10th. So altogether it would sound like this. And that is one little section, and then we just take that section that you just played you move it up 1 fret, and then that's how the whole scale works. So we just keep moving up. The last two are played a little bit differently. They're just a shorter version of it without the last 2 notes. The final section of the guitar solo is very similar to the intro and the bridges, except this time we're playing it a lot faster and there's also added fills. I'll play it for you now. That's everything you need to know to play Fight for Your Life off of our album Armed to the Teeth. Thanks a lot for watching. Stay tuned for more lesson videos, as well as don't forget to check out the tabs available in regular tab format as well as Guitar Pro format. Thanks again for watching. Fight for your life!